Okay, so hello everyone. This is just a quick video to talk about what happened on January 6th, 2021. For a couple reasons. One, it would be weird if I feel like it would be weird if I didn't address it, even though there's like no one, just my friends watching. I feel like it would be weird if I didn't address it, so I want to address it. Second thing too, I'm filming this just on my iPad because it's gonna be like a relatively quick edit and I want to get it up today. So today's Friday the 8th. Friday the 8th. I want to get this up after 8 p.m. sometime. So, and I'm filming this at 2:56. So if anything happens after Friday, January 8th, 3 p.m., I do not know about it at the time of the filming of this video. So if something crazy happens and it's not addressed here, it's because I filmed this at 3 p.m. on Friday, February. Here's a time check in a day. Okay. This is editing me about 4 hours later after filming that, and Trump has been banned from Twitter, so there's not any of that in the rest of this video. So just to, like, I guess I just want to say this is a developing story, and so I wanted to get something out about what I thought about it and what I wanted to do about it. And so if you watch this even tomorrow morning, or you watch this a few days from the day I'm filming this, like there's probably going to be a lot missing that I don't address, because again, every hour it's so stressful. Every hour there's something new. So this is just my quick little video about what happened on January 6th, 2021. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself to help form the narrative, and then I'm going to talk about the mob that stormed the Capitol building and what I think is the best thing I can do to help the situation. There's a little bit we can all do to help the situation, and I think that we are all responsible. Maybe not all of us, but there's something that we can all do, definitely. Okay. Also, I'm avoiding using certain words. So if you're like, why isn't she calling it this word? It's because of the YouTube content ID. If I use certain word, like I don't want the video to be taken down. So I'm avoiding using certain words that I know YouTube will take down if it's in the video. Not because it's because of the algorithm. Most likely, if you use the T word I'm thinking of, I agree with you. So I want to make a lot of different types of content. I have a lot of ideas for this channel. And however, there are two topics that I'm interested in, that I follow, that I am personally kind of afraid and anxious to cover myself publicly, and that's astrology and politics. I use astrology and the position of the planets in the sky relative to my birth chart to plan out what days I'm uploading content. So for example, for this, I used astrology to pick the best time to upload this. And I'm using astrology to pick out what parts of my chart I should embody filming this video versus filming the video I'm going to film a couple minutes from now. I'm not a scholar of astrology or spirituality, and those two are connected for me. And I had tried to do astrology content on Insta before, and I figured out that it just like wasn't for me. Overall, like actually like reading charts, doing astrology is actually pretty draining on me. Like I love doing it, but like after I'm done doing it, I'm like I get so tired. So it's not something that I foresee as like sustainable for myself. Whereas I also love talking about pop culture, but I could talk about pop culture and music and movies or wherever for hours and never get tired of it. So I never get tired of it. So that's the difference. Like one of these topics energizes me and one of these topics drains me. And that's the same with politics and political content. Except politics makes me depressed, angry, and miserable. Now, I don't think that's an excuse for me to not talk about it, hence this video, or to not do the work and try to make things better. But I do have some ideas for political content I could make that would allow me to upkeep boundaries with myself and my channel, and be a nice midpoint for talking about politics, making an impact, and just not joining leftist YouTube, left-tube, if you will, because Honestly, like, politics is pop culture at this point, right? It is happening, it's important, people are talking about it, so it would happen under the jurisdiction of this channel and the topic of this channel, especially with the political theater going on. There was a joke about Josh Hawley here, but actually, like, just fuck that dude. Fuck that dude. His tweet about, oh, my publisher is infringing on my First Amendment rights. That's an idea for, like, when I say that I have, like, ideas on how to make political content, that's an idea would be, like, talking about what the First Amendment actually covers, because it doesn't cover anything between you and, like, a private entity. It's just between an individual and the government, not an individual, Facebook, or a publisher. Wow, shocked. But I'll have to build up to pull off my political content ideas, and I also don't think that this current situation at the Capitol is appropriate to start that. So with that said, the original plan was to post a video about music trends I think we were going to see into 2021 and beyond, on the new moon on the 13th, literally like at midnight. And then maybe address the Georgia runoff, since Democrats have control of the Senate, the House, and the White House, at least 2 years. And had we not had chaos on Wednesday, there were going to be a ton of bad takes about what Democrats should do, what they shouldn't do, how they should bridge the gap, bridge the divide. And now, I mean, now we might still have some bad takes, but the focus is certainly not on that anymore. And that would have been a fun video to make for after the 13th. I think that would have been like the 19th or 20th. But then this happened, and I was afraid that I was going to have to make a political video for the new moon. And I don't like that tone, especially for a new, if you know anything about astrology, new moons are about starting new things, starting new cycles. And this one, the first, I won't get into it. It's a big one, and I want to use it in a correct way and to start the correct tone. And the tone that I want and the tone that I enjoy. And I was afraid that I was gonna have to set this is a political channel now, and I don't want that. I don't want to do that. I don't think this needs to be a huge formal thing for me. I think it just needs to be addressed before I go on to fun, happier content next week. So the music video trend video, I'm gonna film it after. I'm gonna be wearing the same outfit. I'm filming it literally right after I'm done filming this. But that'll still be going up on the 13th. So clearly, I don't support what happened on the Capitol on the 6th at all. It was disgusting to me. I think every representative and senator who objectified to certifying the election results for Arizona and Pennsylvania should be expelled from Congress, per the resolution that Representative Cori Bush is introducing to the House floor. I think that the president should have been removed when he was impeached the first time. And so Senate Republicans that did not have the proper trial for that impeachment should be investigated and held accountable for their actions then. I think that Trump should have been impeached long before December 18th, 2019. He should have been impeached and removed the second he issued the executive order banning Muslims from entering the country. Part of the reason political content in politics in general makes me so angry and overwhelmed is because it's not just this. It's not just this administration. It was George W. Bush. It was George H.W. Bush. It was Reagan. It was Nixon. It has been decades of working up to this moment. And in the off years, that's the time they used to lie and radicalize people. And that's what we saw on the 6th. The culmination of years of bad, harmful neoconservative policies and the radicalizing of hurting people through Fox News, conservative radio, and now social media, including YouTube, including this platform I'm posting on right now. And then the acceleration of the process from Trump and his rhetoric. This was always part of the goal for these conservative billionaires. Always. The worst part of this is seeing the stark difference in police response and National Guard response to this over the Black Lives Matter protest over the summer. It's fundamentally unacceptable, and if you had any doubt, now you've seen both live on television. It proves that there's a difference in law enforcement response to white people versus BIPOC, and that it's not something reformable. Because I just watched police roll over and let white supremacist extremists walk into the Capitol building waving a failed rebellion flag for the first time. They didn't even get that flag in the 1860s. They didn't get that flag into Congress in the 1860s. It was the 6th that the first time the Confederate flag was flown inside that building. Just so you just are aware of the magnitude of what this is. They disrupted a crucial part of the democratic process. The police rolled over, the police let them in because the police fundamentally agreed with the mob and agreed with the reason they were there. And they wanted the process to be interrupted. I consider myself to be left. I like our progressive politicians. I support progressive policy. I very much view my role kind of twofold. This is where my script is not going to help anymore. I view my role twofold. One is to support organizers on the ground, especially for Black Lives Matter protests, and supporting progressive politicians. I'm not somebody who wants to really run for office one day. I am not civil enough for that. Donating, supporting the voices and needs of BIPOC, like that's definitely, like, I'm not somebody that wants to have the limelight in these situations. I'd much rather push and uplift the voices of others that are much more equipped and more articulate than I am, and need support. Like I am here to support. And on the other hand too, I realize that there's a certain privilege I have. And that I think that going forward, 2021 and 2022, leading up to the midterms, I'm going to learn, because I don't know how to do it yet, I'm going to focus on and learn how to do de-radicalization work to kind of reach out to some of these people, maybe not specifically the people, but like, maybe not specifically people that rushed the Capitol, but people in general. I want to learn how to do the work of reaching out to these people and talking them down. And learning how to, I don't want to say learning, but like, yeah, no, learning how to do that and how to connect with them. So that's going to be a long process. I don't think I'm going to make that a public process just yet because I have to learn. I have family members I definitely want to start with. This is one of my 2021 goals to like to figure this out, you know, not just for de-radicalization processes, but also for myself, because I get angry too. I think that it's a problem with myself that I want to work on, and I think that doing de-radicalization stuff and reaching out to people like this might help me also work on this problem and be beneficial to me. And then also like stop people from thinking that the election was stolen from them when it wasn't, right? When everything was normal. Like there's no evidence. They can't even show the one case of voter fraud, like they say like, oh, Pennsylvania's was like a weird, you know, whatever. The one case of voter fraud in Pennsylvania was a Trump supporter. And Josh Hawley, when he was like, oh, is his name Josh? I don't even care what his name is. Senator Hawley, his speech about how there were irregularities and how Pennsylvania didn't even follow their own constitution. And then he proceeded to explain that their constitution allowed mail-in balloting in extreme circumstances. Like a pandemic wasn't an extreme circumstance. Like the safety of their voters is not a top priority. So universal mail-in balloting for an election happening during a airborne pandemic in order to help keep people away from each other and allow them to participate in the process safely, like that's not, you know, like it doesn't even make any sense. It's because like he's only doing it because he wants to run in 2024, right? But like everyone else, it's like just 3 seconds of critical thinking. But that's when you're fed a steady diet of Fox News. That's not, you're not afforded that. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. Learning how to I have some, I'm not going to share, I mean, I will on Twitter probably, resources. It's something I have to learn. I hope that any white people watching this maybe also take steps to decide to learn how to, maybe if you don't do it, like you don't go through a program to learn how to de-radicalize people, maybe you just talk to your MAGA family members in a safe, productive way And I know that de-radicalization is going to be a long, hard process, but I think that it's something that it's the little bit of something that I can do and that I could probably do well. And it starts with reaching out. So I hope in 2021 we can start to reach out and safely hold people accountable. So I'll see you on Tuesday with that fun music bench trends video. I'm literally gonna set up and film it right now. I'm very excited. And if there's any more crazy developments between then and now, I'll probably address on my Twitter. So links will be the bottom. I'll just copy paste. That'll probably be the only thing in the bottom. And yeah, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.